Time is running out to create new housing in Maine. Data from Maine Housing show the state has only 4 years now to create more than 84,000 new units.
By 2030, Maine's expected population will exceed the amount of housing available. One city in the Mid-Coast is tackling the issue head on, and as Chris Costa shows us, townspeople are buying into the plan.
Every city and town in Maine knows the pinch.
The folks who are behind the scenes and keeping this community running, there is not a lot of housing that addresses that population.
That population? The missing middle. Working people who make too much money to get government help, but not enough money to afford a place. Rockland City Councilor Penny York heard the community loud and clear.
And what I was finding was that a majority of the people who work in those service-related jobs in Rockland don't live here.
But before forging ahead with new housing efforts, the City Council needed the residents to buy in. So on the November 2024 ballot, they put forward this advisory question, essentially asking the voters,
are you folks in agreement that this is a problem in Rockland that we need to be focusing our energy on? When that passed overwhelmingly in 2024, we knew our next step was to create that housing bond.
A housing bond of $10 million. Money the city could spend in increments on infrastructure.
We're taking it only project by project as it's needed, and that we plan to be very transparent with everyone about exactly what we're using those funds for.
New housing requires new sidewalks, sewers, and more. Costs that the city wants to take off of the developers, hoping if we fund it, they will come.
It feels like they're kind of coming out of the woodworks.
The bond passed, but a different hurdle did not. A year later, the city asked voters if they wanted to amend the city charter. York says, as is, the charter restricts how Rockland can give out the bond money. Voters did not pass the charter change. York says local residents are missing a chance to have a role in solving the housing crisis.
But we want to focus on the folks that actually need the funds in order to overcome a hurdle that's preventing them from making housing here in Rockland.
She hopes to someday give out bond money to people who want to create new housing, like accessory dwelling units on their property. More units means a larger tax base, ultimately lessening the share each person pays in property taxes. One of those projects is the McLean School. In November, the state awarded the city of Rockland money to help convert that school and the building next door into 29 new apartments. All of these apartments have not only income restrictions, but rent restrictions too, in part due to using low-income housing tax credits to fund about 1/3 of the project. Only people making 60% or less of the area median income can apply. In Rockland, that's a yearly salary of just over $55,000. The winning proposal lists rent starting at just over $1,000 a month. That same month, the city cut the ribbon on Peasley Park, another project adding 49 units. It is both age and income restricted to people 55 and older who make 60% of the AMI or less. Rents range from $710 to $745 a month. It's all part of the City Council's goal of creating 50 units of housing a year.
And so we put it right on our goals as a council that we needed to focus more on housing, and we started talking about that at every single meeting. Because what we're really hoping is that other communities will look to Rockland and say, Rockland did it, why can't we?
Chris's full conversation with Councilor York will soon be available on News Center Maine Plus.
They delve into other details about the bond and how the city can make sure that money only gets used for affordable housing projects.